Hi guys, and I'm back with a review of a Hornby product. This one is the Liverpool and Manchester Railway third class carriage. Basically for the paupers, the way I see it. Standing room only, unfortunately. So this is my take on it. This was released this year, 2020. Thought I'd review it to show people what it's all about, and you never know, in the future there might be a few that come in model shops or eBay. You might fancy one, even if it's just a centerpiece of a roundabout or something like that as a statue. These are quite cheap. I think they're like £16, including postage and packaging, which isn't too bad from Hornby. So this is my take on it, and I'll see you at the end of the video. As we start off with the detail bag for this carriage, it's only the couplings for the wagon. As the holes there where it goes into the hook on the wagon. This is the style that Hornby are doing with the Rocket or Era 1 stuff, I want to believe. Make it look like a chain link coupling, typical of the type of era it is. So it's glad to add these to the locomotive, or the pack, the wagon and the locomotive, because the Rocket needs them itself. I wonder if Hornby will do some spares in future. So on to the front or back of the wagon or carriage, depending on your preference. As you can see, the hook there for the detail pack, which just hooks on the coupling there. Hornby have got this thing for the Era 1 stuff, very nice. We do have buffers. They are not sprung, they are plastic, which is correct of the type of Era, I believe. There's no wood effect going on here, but it's painted a nice blue or turquoise, I want to say. There's a few lining details there though, which are a great, fantastic touch by Hornby. This is made out of plastic and probably all of it's moulded. There's a few separately applied stuff like the hook and a few steps either side. On either side of the buffers, I believe we have a step for a worker. As we move on to the side of the wagon or coach, like I said, they are both exactly the same, but there's some great detail, even though it does look a bit plain around here. The obvious choice is there's no names on the coach like there is on the Rocket ones, which is Emperor and all that, I think there is, but there's some lining. Each square in the lower part has black lining. There's also some other lining a bit lower down, do with suspension area from the buffers. The door handles do look separately applied, and you can see through the door handles, and they are separately painted in gold, which is fantastic for a really, really tiny carriage wagon. We do have steps. One of mine is slightly bent, but I'm not too fussed about that. Along with the steps, we also have springs or suspension of the axles, which is moulded, but it's nice and it's well picked out, easily crisp as well. The wheels are metal, which is fantastic as well. And if you look carefully, you can see through to the other side of the coach above the wheels, which is a great touch. Very correct going by the few I've seen at Liverpool and York of this style of coach or carriage. And as we have a bird's eye view of the carriage or wagon, like I keep calling it, it's not really a coach. There's no seats. This is third class in the 1800s. And they got treated like pigs, from what I can understand. So this is third class, no seats. But I do believe there was seats on the second class by Rails of Sheffield, which got cancelled. I believe so anyway. But it is a wood effect, and it is nice. Some of the doors do have hinges, and they do look like they're embossed in the moulding to give the effect that they would open. And I think that's really fantastic, if I'm honest with you. For such a cheap model, I think it's like £16 when you include postage. It's fantastic, that is. The wood effect is pretty nice as well. Chocolatey colour wood. So you've got 3 apartments for third class. And finally, we look underneath the chassis of the wagon or carriage. As you can see, we have 2 screws. I'm not sure what they are for, if I'm honest with you. I know it's a bit of a letdown. I don't know what they are, but we have 2 screws. It probably is to remove something. I think it's probably the shell off the chassis, if I'm honest with you. But the wagon does have some fantastic touches from the underneath, which you're not going to see when it runs, but these are fantastic. We have the bracing going on underneath by the metal with the rivets, as well as some sort of suspension by the looks of it. And there's no handbrake or brakes. Never existed back then, I don't believe. The wheels are metal, and it is fantastic. You also see separately applied steps that is going on either side of the carriage. This is very highly detailed for underneath of something that you're not really going to see when it's running around. Credit to Hornby. So guys, that's the end of the video. I thought I'd just run it solo with the rocket, instead of anything else taking its attention away. So my opinions on it: it's well made, it's light, but it runs really smooth. It goes across points, it doesn't like jump. It's quite nice. The only issue I have, because of health reasons, is the coupling between the tender and carriage. It took me about an hour to put this one on. I was going to have all three of the yellow ones as well, but I got frustrated. So my only issue with the whole rocket stuff that Hornby do currently, I hope one day they come with a different type of coupling just for people who have issues. I know it's not just me, there's others as well. Seeing they have done the Class 3 coach, maybe they might do a Class 2, hopefully, maybe. I know Rails were going to do one and that got canned. But Class 2 would go well, because they've got Class 1 and Class 2 and then Class 3. It also gives me hope that Hornby have invested in Era 1, and we should or might see more from Era 1, which would be great. It'd be fantastic for the hobby and the collectors around the world. Like I said, there's a few of these on eBay currently, and they're going for double the price of what you can buy it for from Hornby. Same with the rocket, even second-hand at Hatton's, they're touching £350 used, that is, as well. So I think there's a market for it, if I'm honest, but only time will tell. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.